Well, this is it for the B stream. Our last game. The marathon is coming to a close. Grayhound and Mousesports going to be trying to best each other on a best of three. Winner of this advances to the quarterfinals. The loser is eliminated. Greyhound's run has already been pretty damn good. Wins against EG and, of course, earlier today against Liquid. I'm Vince, joined by Dust. First off, how's your energy levels? And secondly, do you think Lightning can strike twice? Can Greyhound cause another upset here?
I mean, 3 times, right? They've already done it twice. I mean, obviously in best of
today.
Time. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like Mousesports are looking a little bit more polished than maybe Liquid and EG, who are just looking nowhere near what we normally expect. So I think that Mousesports will actually, despite the fact they're not ranked as highly as Evil Geniuses and Liquid, will actually be much tougher opposition for Greyhound to try to deal with. I feel like Mousesports are so close to really taking a bite into the top 5 of the rankings. They were, you know, just really unlucky, I feel like, at the major, having the draw against Vitality and Team Liquid in those deciding best of 3s to see who would make the top 8. Especially that Liquid game, they had the 2 mats both went into overtime. It was very, very close. It very easily could have been Mousesports in the quarterfinals instead of Team Liquid. And I feel like Mousesports has shown us, you know, some good results here and there elsewhere. But they've also had their slip-ups, if we're honest, like that V4 tournament they just played last month, where they get beat by Virtus Pro to get knocked out in the top 4 was definitely very disappointing. And so it's still kind of too early to call for me. The potential is certainly there, though. They have so much talent. We watched them throughout the qualification for this tournament online, as well as just kind of following them at DreamHack Tours, where they got a title, and some of these other events where they've gotten some decent finishes. And it does seem like they are really on the, you know, like I said, horizon of being an elite level team. But then Greyhound, they've had such a miracle run so far. You know, the upsets over EG and Liquid, for them, this would be massive. They haven't really had very many big appearances at international lands. Only really Sydney has been huge for them. But they've already done the unthinkable, so it would be cool to see them go all the way and be the true dark horse that makes it to playoffs. Would be like one of the biggest tournament results they may have ever had outside of Sydney. Definitely, they've already pulled off one of the biggest best of 3 upsets we've seen in CSGO in quite some time, if not, you know, forever. So it should be a good one.
Well, the map that are laid ahead of us, Dust2, picked by Mousesports, as you'd expect with Voxic on the team. Yep. Why wouldn't they? Inferno is Greyhound's pick, and finally we are going to be headed to Mirage again if it goes that far. So, like, I feel like these 3 maps have kind of been the staple.
Yeah.
Plus Overpass, maybe.
Sure. The problem is these are like probably Mousesports' best maps if you look at win rate on LAN. Like Dust2 in particular, that Mousesports is going to get. They've won a vast majority of the time. I believe their overall record coming into the tournament was 7-3. I don't have their numbers down for earlier series this tournament. Not sure if they've played D2 already, but definitely been playing really well there. And also their Inferno has looked really, really good throughout this year with this lineup. So that is going to make it even tougher on Greyhound, I think, just because of the familiarity that Mousesports is going to have. But we also seen Greyhound do some great stuff on Inferno. One of the big upset matches they've had this tournament has been Nuke, and that's been denied to them. You actually did see... Not sure. Was that the first ban of Mousesports? Yeah, it was. So that was like seemingly the ace up their sleeve in some of these upsets, and that's not going to be there for them. Although they did also get an Inferno victory. So we'll have to see.
Just waiting for one of the players to connect. I think we are ready to jump live into our first map of potentially 3. After this game, the B stream will come to a close, ladies and gents, as we're headed off to the playoffs, and that's what these 2 teams are jockeying for. Greyhound on the CT side, obviously with it being Mousesports' choice. I do feel like, oh dear, we have a tech pause instantly. Hate to see that. No. But I do feel as if this is one of the maps where starting either side isn't really that important, honestly. Right. Like, you can do a bunch of work on T or CT.
It is worth noting that this year, Greyhound within their region has been quite strong on these 2 maps that we're going to see up first between D2 and Inferno as well. So at least they will have some personal comfort, despite the fact that, for context's sake, Mousesports' results in Inferno have a little bit more weight behind them. Same with Dust2. But it looks like we are going to get past all of the pausing and get into the action. Mousesports, again, as you said, starting out on that terrorist side.
And opting for the tunnels push for the time being is Dexter down in the bottom side of the tunnels, using that box for his cover. But Voxic will not miss his chance with the Glock. Malta, in the meanwhile, is about to be hard pressed by many a terrorist. It's only going to be Chris J, who is actually lurking out on long. So he needs the rest of his team to start getting some results here on the B site. That's exactly what they're doing. They've been tested, but they passed for the time being. And there's another one. Dick Stacy. Player falling. INS or INS coming from the backside of the tunnels. May get a couple of drops here. But Voxic spins around and gets his 4K in the round. Solid start on the side of Mousesports.
Exactly what they needed. Obviously, they had the upset loss earlier this tournament to NIP, who already found themselves in the playoffs, but Mousesports have done their to get themselves into this position, getting those victories throughout the lower brackets against the likes of EG and Optic.
Hail of grenades tossed over on long. Does put Chris down dangerously low, but very much the same could be said for INS. 3 of them on the A sites.
Malta has the info, though. He's pushed through B tunnels. So he'll be able to allow Grayhound to confidently keep core on this side of the map. So it gives them a little bit of chance. They do have some firepower.
Well, speaking of fire, one's been deployed on the short. It's going to be tagging Dick Stacy in the meanwhile, though. Needs to hold on firm alongside Dexter, who's came through with 2-1 Deegs. A gap in the smoke is affording him so many chances. He comes right through the smoke and connects another one. Both of Mousesports exceptionally low, and Malta is full HP with a 5-7. Can just tap away and potentially clutch this round, but Chris J gonna spoil the party, spoil the dreams, and dash them against the wall alongside Malta. 2-0.
So the force does not pan out, but it did do a lot of damage, so some rebind definitely got to take place here from Mousesports. They would have loved to have carried over those SMGs and farmed some extra cash out of them, but now they will have to go ahead and buy out those rifles right away. A SIG for Kerrigan, an AK for Voxic. Frozen will keep on to this MP5. Mac 10 for Rops. Fairly default opening here thus far from Mousesports, but they are pretty quickly moving through those lower tunnels and outside into Long A. It's a 5-man, though, from Grayhound on the cross of Long A. This could be brutal.
Just USPs, though, is going to be a bit of an issue. Flashbang out. There's an AK dropped. Maybe a second kill forthcoming. Chris J's been dinked down, and his teammate alongside him's gone and bit the dust. And here comes INS. A kill with the AK.
And bomb down.
They have 1 P250 and 4 USPs, and yet here we are. It's a 3v2.
And they're going to get an AK boosted up on top of this blue bin. INS is going to be able to stare down Frozen. Frozen sees it. He can't find the bullets, though. It seems he is still alive at the very least. Now he pops out for the frag. A 2-on-2, it's still winnable, but it's going to be tough because there's rifles in the hands of Grayhound.
There are, but they also have Rops who's coming around the backside. So there's Frozen. It's a valiant attempt by Greyhounds. Went much better than anticipated. Maybe Sicko with the SG can still put down the pain. No. Does at least take down the other player. So 4 kills in that round. Greyhound. What a ridiculous result.
Yeah, it's just them getting crafty on these little force buys and eco rounds. Like, they're not just, you know, stacking or, you know, just playing default and kind of just giving it away. They're actually doing these little set plays, and they've done a good bit of damage there. But nonetheless, Mousesports do get the 3-0 start thanks to Frozen's heroics, really, at Long A. He really bailed them out of a tough spot. Both teams will not be fully bought out. Double op already in play for Greyhound. Default opening here from Mousesports, though. Usually Rops and Chris J playing edges of the map, and the other 3 are going to be that ball of fury to try to find openings. Frozen and carrying me those rifles, and Voxic being that very aggressive and flashy opper. And he very much loves this map.
Oh, yeah. One, if not the best sword pro on Dust2, in my opinion. INS using the off angle in the smoke. At Dexter shows that he's no slouch with the AWP either. Rops has positioned in mid and will get the drop onto Sicko. I thought for a moment he may peek out a little bit too early. And there's a second one as well. Finally, Greyhound get themselves a solid buy, and it seems to be slipping away. Chris J cleans up onto Dick Stacy, and that is all she wrote for round 4.
Indeed it is, and the money's not going to be there for Greyhound, so Mouse should be able to find pretty much a free 5th round. Rops, the normal B-tunnels lurker on those cat attacks, decides to poke and prod at middle after Mousesports met some resistance on that A attack, and his 2 kills meant so much. Really won his team the round. A smoke on mid, covering Grayhound's cross. 4 players will be towards B. Frozen will be in the lower tunnels. But Rots, who normally would be going B, does have a good long A spawn, so he's been working with Kerrigan to get towards that pit area. Will Grayhound eventually push B tunnels is kind of the big question. I'm sure Mousesports is aware they're up against this type of buy. So if Frozen keeps his eyes peeled, he might eventually catch on to this if they do wind up pushing through.
Sure, and it's looking like with this kind of a buy, they may very well do that. Though the smoke is going to give them pause for thought. They may not end up doing it after all. Could go cheeky and try and push through the smoke, assuming that Mousesports get caught unawares. But of course, now they're about to find out that a hefty amount of grenades are finding their way over on the A site. One Molotov was whiffed, detonating midair. No big deal, though, with Greyhound's lack of buy. HE tossed towards CT could do a lot of damage. Actually chips them for about 20 HP, about 50 in total. Flashbang through the smoke. Here come the Aussies. They're baying for blood. They're really on the receiving end. They're going to give a donation across to Mousesports 5-0.
Good start here from the multinational team that is Mousesports. A powerhouse brewing out there. Trying to be what FaZe never could. Same person at the leader of the project early on. What can we do here? Double op back and play for Greyhound. Aggression towards B tunnels early here from Mouse. Voxic being the one leading it, finds the kill. He's going to keep pushing forward. He's going to get past this incendiary. Malta's in a lot of trouble, and he's gone. And now you have to feel Greyhound to save. No way you're getting back into this.
Certainly not. It's one of the hardest sites in the whole of Counter-Strike to retake, especially when you're a player behind. They do have nades, but it's more the overall scoreline, more the overall economy that is working against them. So yeah, the save is just has to be the way forward here. But I mean, this is a lightning fast 6-0. Other than that one round where they had the USPs and they nearly took it away from Mousesports, I think it was just Chris J remaining.
Yeah.
It has been so very simple.
That's just Mousesports. I mean, they do have a very good default, and they have good protocols. They can definitely play out the mid-round situations quite nice. They have a couple of set pieces in their arsenal as well, but sometimes they can do what you saw in that round. You just kind of cut someone loose, let them make an individual play. There's so much skill on this team. It's one of the most skilled rosters in CSGO right now. Outside of, like, you know, the obvious Liquid, EG, even Navi is really starting to build something that's massive since they've made some roster changes. When you go man for man, almost everyone on this team can deliver pretty big frags.
I mean, you just mentioned there, EG and Liquid, with both of them bowing out the tournament. I mean, Mousesports will definitely be in with a shout now of claiming this Tier 1 event.
It seems really set up for Astralis now at this point, based on how they performed. They beat Vitality in the upper bracket final earlier today in a 2-0 series. They've been dominating the whole tournament. They've looked revitalized during the major. So it does seem like they're the favorite, but you're right. Like, Mousesports could definitely be that team if they win the series and actually make playoffs. That should, I think they're going to get at least top 4. It would still be a nice improvement for them. I think they're destined for a top 5 world ranking here soon. Gotta get past the Giant Slayers though, Vince, and that has been Greyhound this tournament, funnily enough.
Yeah, it really has. Not just one time, but twice. And if they beat Mousesports, considering Liquid ranked 1 in the world, EG ranked 3, Mousesports ranked 8. For a team that's ranked 28th in the world, that is an unbelievable streak. That's an unbelievable run.
Oh.
But they have to get past Mousesports first, and so far they've been unable to even win a round. So let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Ins through on short, takes some damage, but does best Frozen.
God, though. Malta is so screwed. That smoke's going to come up. There's no way for Ins to really get back. But Sicko hits a nice little op shot before that smoke can really settle in. And now all of a sudden there is some hope at holding this.
Especially as Malta's also chipped in with a kill. Dick Stacy, though, going to get caught at range. Still trades out Chris J. A 2v1. It looked like it was over. It looked as though Malta would falter. And as with Greyhound, it's still going to be a rough retake, though. Don't get me wrong. B-site can be a real nuisance, a real nightmare. Voxic going to smoke out the tunnels so he can focus his attention. I think he may have just seen an arm around the corner. And Voxic He is trying his damnness to make this round stick. He's missed 2 shots uncharacteristically, but 3rd time's a charm. And Mousesports moved to a 7-0 lead. That was Grayhound's chance, though.
Oh, man, even though retakes on B are hard, it's even harder, though. They'll try to hold a 1v2 with an AWP when people are pushing you up close. Voxic, though, is one of those guys who have classically been known to handle those close-range opping situations brilliantly. I feel like he just has that swagger about him where he just is able to get off those shots so fast and feels so comfortable, and even when he's being boxed in. You've seen it so many times throughout his career. That's a big clutch. Grayhound were just about to finally get something going, and Voxic slams the door in their face on their way in. And now it's another kind of just low buy round here from Grayhound as Mousesports get free long A control. It is a bit of an A-side stack, though, with this double cat positioning and Dick Stacy on the platform. So we'll see if they can do something.
Oh, he's been spotted. Voxic hot off the back of a clutch, flicking left and right, up and down. And plenty CT corpses fall by his wake, a 3K. And he moves to 13-2, by the way, with 140 ADR. Not too shabby.
Not at all. We're off to a rapid game here from Mousesports. Grayhound look just outclassed. No double op this time. It'll just be Sicko. He had a nice little op frag a couple of rounds ago. It didn't come up with anything off the back of it, though, unfortunately. No B tunnels this time for Mousesports. They can do something a little bit faster up middle. Now they do finally bring that bomb around over to B. So it seems like mid-B is really in the cards right now. Kerrigan already trying to open up things over towards middle. That smoke, though, will delay things. In's also pressing Cat. Could be a real problem. Kerrigan, I think, is aware of it now. He sees that grenade. He knows what's up, but he's taking so much damage.
I hit the head. As did that HE, by all accounts. Kerrigan got wrecked by it. Dick Stacy Malta. This is better. Grayhound starting to post up some respectable rounds here. But they need to convert. They've had chances in the past. Sicko smoke down onto Catwalk's short side. Kerrigan is going to push through it. The timing may work against Sicko, but now he's seen him. He just drops down. He doesn't want to even attempt to let this round slip away. And I can respect that.
Though. Inns has actually now drifted that direction, and Kerrigan never actually committed. So this has lightened the load a little bit on this B attack. The problem is Malta has that close angle. Dexter's shooting from the back. That means Malta's probably going to kind of get locked in here, and I don't think they're going to check him. They're going to be so focused on Dexter. This is going to be tough, but Kerrigan creeping middle. It's going to get interesting.
He has no smoke for the cross, though, so he should be caught when he goes across, because Sicko does have an AWP trained in on it. Not going to be required, potentially. Inns does go for the peak. There's a molly kill on Dexter, but no problem. Grayhound, welcome to the scoreboard.
Yeah, Mousesports just tried to do a little bit of aggressions all across the map. Chris J's little push along, he gets caught. That really kind of put Mousesports in a disadvantageous situation. Kerrigan also not able to find too much at middle or cat. He also just got chunked by utility. And so no openings found there for Mousesports. Also, Malta had kind of just an insurance policy position up close on tons. All in all, good play. Back onto the full buy, though, is Mousesports. They have plenty of money to burn. Double cat setup here is going to be in effect, but it looks like it's going to be bypasses. It's going to be a long A focus from Mouse, and Grayhound are not contesting it. Again, they've favored this double cat setup, to be fair.
Yeah, they do like it. I've seen them use this quite a few times the duration of CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Malmö.
Right.
As Flash is now starting to land on long.
It is a good setup because it allows you to really quickly rotate if it's going to be something B. You can obviously still watch the cross from Cat. It gives you that guaranteed to you for retakes. But that means you're all kind of funneling from one direction as long as it's controlled by Mousesports. That's the only real problem with it. We do have Voxic finding a pick on the Dick States. It's going to keep those A players all in place, by the way. It means Malta will again be all alone. And soon he'll be quivering in his boots because Mousesports are on their way through tunnels.
Yeah, it's going to be a flash preceding the push as well. Kerrigan turns his head. Another flashbang out. Already dinked behind the boxes and finalized. Now going to be coming in, but this is also where Voxic can start to be a real pain in the backside on Grayhound. Is it going to be one round and done? A one pump chump from Grayhound here.
I can't believe you just...
It's been a long day. Dexter and Sicko. looking to pull back and save. So it will indeed be Grayhound, one and done, which is very unfortunate. But at least if they can save these two guns, they've got something to play with.
Oh, my.
It would be classic banter if we got fired on the very last map.
Yeah.
How many maps have we even casted? It must be 25, 30 or something, right?
We did 10-day one. Yesterday we did
7 or 8.
8?
Yeah.
Right? We did, one was a 3 map, the other 2, 7, sorry. So 17 maps before today. Then today, the first one was a 2-mapper, right? Liquid losing the Grayhound, so that's 19. Last one was also 2, so 21. This is our 23rd, or 22nd, sorry, I think.
Although one of them was effectively 2 maps and overtime,
Yeah.
I suppose.
I think we should, yeah, I'd say this is our 23rd then. I think that's fair. Seems reasonable.
Well, Mousesports continue at this pace. We'll only end up casting 24. It's hard to see how they won't get the next map as well. However, Dust, I do just want to highlight it.
Oh, here we go.
Remember Grayhound were 12-3 behind against Liquid?
Uh-huh.
They did make that comeback, so I'm not writing them off.
Go ahead and
it
ask
looks
me.
bleak.
Go ahead and do it. You know, you want to ask.
Okay. Can Grayhound make the comeback?
No.
Why has he done it again?
He's doubled down, hasn't he?
Why?
I'm doing it for the memes at this point, man, because look, if Grayhound does pull it off, then it'll just be all the more amazing that you can even make another little highlight video. Dun 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 dun, dun. Frozen kicks him.
SG gonna carve out the head, and Mousesports carving a path over onto A side. Sicko though sat here, flicks across, but it's Rops that's gonna strike first in this encounter. And so unfortunately for Sicko, he's just out aimed in the end of the day by Chris J. But to be fair, I mean, he was absolutely screwed whatever happened in that circumstance. Malta, very much the same result, and already Mousesports have posted up 10 rounds.
So now we do find ourselves at a 10-1 score. Grayhound, not a whole lot of spending power to be going into round number 12 here. Just going to be upgraded pistols at best. Mousesports have been teeing off on them. Of course, they won the first 8 in a row. One slipped in there from Grayhound. That's been about it. Voxic up to 16 kills in the 11 rounds played. Frozen at 10, the rest at 7. So you're getting a full performance out of Mousesports' lineup. Again, so skilled, so not surprising. The one kill does go down here, though, at long A, but they put a molly to stop that gun from being able to be collected. And throw another one as well here. They might even catch ends. They quite land on him. Nice thought, though.
Yeah, I mean, if that was slightly lower, 100% a kill, because Inns is going to have to move out into the open. As it stands, they've got 3 players watching this. This could get really shady, really fast. Dick Stacy peeks without Sicko behind him. That was their chance to maybe get an avenging kill. That Molotov's way too deep. But Chris J buries a couple of bullets deep in the skulls of Inns and Sicko. Malta and Dexter, not for the first time, having to try and salvage something out of the round. And in all honesty, probably exit frags. I mean, Dexter, to be fair, can't really get away. Maybe he can just fight his way out. That is another possibility. Okay, Dexter, calm down. That's 2 kills to him, 3 kills in total, and they haven't crossed yet. They do have 2 smokes, though.
They do. So they know the smokes very well, so they should be able to cross this with no gaps. So we shouldn't be able to get a shot in. It's just going to be guesswork. And oh, Malta hits him in the head! That is just pure luck. It's plain and simple, but it'll work nonetheless. It's now a 2-on-1. Voxic in so much trouble.
I'm a little bit speechless. I can't believe it's even in this position in the first place. Voxic has already picked up a 1v2.
Don't tell me he's going to do it. Don't tell me he's going to do it.
In this game, there's 10 seconds left, Dust. There's so many things working against him. He's backing away. He's waiting to find an angle of some aggression to go into. And there's Dexter. Grayhound. They pull the rabbit out the hat. They go full Houdini on Mousesports.
My goodness, man. They've actually done it. That's so unreal. He hit that one headshot through the smoke. He felt like it was like D-impact frag, and it was just totally out of nowhere. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a confidence booster if you're Grayhound. And again, go back to the Liquid game. It's not over until that 16th round chimes. Voxic, naded. Still going to be keeping his crosshair trained towards the back of the site. Here comes Chris J, catching Malta. I think he was throwing a grenade into mid. Dexter is going to answer back, going to trade to the SG, realizing that he is surrounded by T's, one of which is perched up on the window. He's actually traded places now. He's up on the boxes, still alive, still close enough to make them sweat this out, Mousesports. He decides to push in. This is such an aggressive play. I love it. Unfortunately, it may end up backfiring, and it has. But A for effort there, Dexter. Love to see plays like that. Unfortunately, though, his team's still going to concede the round.
And they're going to be reset again. So money is not really going to be there. Sicko had the AWP carried over, sure. There's a little bit of money there on Malta and Dexter, but Dick, Stacy, and Ends are just so low on funds. There's really not a whole lot they can do in this next round. The problem is, though, you're starting to get to that point where it's going to be 11-2 Mousesports. I feel like you're going to have to kind of bite the bullet and go for it. I mean, you're just, unless you really think your T side is going to be that good, you can't afford to give up another one kind of for free by saving and letting Mousesports have 12. Like, this is like one of those weird situations where I almost wouldn't blame them if they just force bought this next round as much as they could. Because you just need the rounds now. Like, I don't know. We'll see, though. It's up to you. It's Malta and Dexter has 6K apiece, so I mean, I think you just have to kind of go for it. Ends and Dick Stacy just have to be left to get whatever they can, whether that be SMG, armor, FAMAS, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's gone are the days of being cautious. Now you just have to go for it. You have to go out swinging, and that's what Grayhound have done. They forced. Got double up still, so I mean.
Yeah, not bad.
There's still plenty of firepower there to pivot off.
We're going to get a long A clash, I think, Vince. 3 players from Grayhound playing the long A corner, and now at least 2 of them. And it looked like they were going to go long A at Mousesports, so they had 3 players outside long, but they slow it down. We do sometimes see that happen where both teams have a good spawn for long A, and they just kind of clash, but it seems like we're going to be denied that bit of action. As Mousesports shift to the catwalk.
Flash out. Not going to affect Carrigan, though. Needed to peek a little bit earlier than that. Carrigan had read the situation. He hasn't read that Malta, the other side of the smoke, delivers the fatal blow. Elsewhere, Grayhound are hemorrhaging losses on the A site. Although they've got Dick Stacy up on long, an MP9 at this range. May as well just throw bad words at Mousesports. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah, they're going to... Looks like they're going to just back up and look to try to use these 3 guns in the next round. So Mousesports still flying 12 nonetheless. Even had a player drop from the server. Luckily, it's not one of the guys that had a weapon. Not sure if that had an impact on the round or not, if he had crashed it at some other point. Either way, we might have a bit of a technical pause while we sort that out. Not sure if we'll make it back in time for the next round, so we'll just have to keep you posted on that. In the meantime, the frags just keep building for all these players from Mousesports. So many of these rounds have been dominant, too, by the way. Like, obviously, we saw Grayhound win the last round, but these 2 rounds in a row here from Mousesports, they've survived with at least 3 members, and then prior to that, they had 2 rounds in a row they survived with 4. So they are really, really taking it to Grayhound here, and we do have a tie. Apparently his mouse died. What are the chances he has a backup mouse, Vince?
Uh-oh, we're talking about Voxic here.
Would it be him again? Okay.
No, he's still here.
Let's see if
I
it's
got worried.
Again, I'm actually out.
I heard you say mouse break, and then the memes just all came to my head.
All the way out. No, it's not.
How do people get so many broken mice? Like, I rage quite a lot, right? I've even slammed my mouse plenty of times. I've never had a mouse break like that before.
Not sure, but Sicko is back, so I guess they sorted it out. Maybe it was like one of those classic, he has a wireless mouse and the battery just died. No, nope,
maybe
not. Apparently it's all good. So we should be getting live here very shortly. Pause has been removed.
I did make it sound like I'm some unreasonable rage monster. I'm not.
Yeah,
I kind of am.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I kind of am. Anyway,
I've watched enough of your streams to realize that you very much like to rage quite a bit. The funny thing is, though, you never like rage to the other people in the game. I will say that, to be fair.
No,
you always just rage to yourself.
Exactly.
But you do just massively talk shit about the people you're playing with, and they just never do it. It's just like,
don't we all?
Why are they not do it? It's like, mate, why don't you tell them to do that? Nah, you'd rather just rage about it on stream. Not say anything.
last round of the half to get back on track. He's going to see
Okay.
Carrick. And
I can understand why you want to skate out of that conversation, but you know, we'll do it. We'll get into this. There's going to be a fast cat attack here from Mousesports. It looks like, though they do hold up, Net Incendiary will slow them down as well.
It will, absolutely. With them already losing Carrigan and Frozen being low, maybe, hold on, it was 12-2. Then Grayhound got 12-3 against Liquid. I'm just saying. I'm putting it all together here. Mousesports, can they go one better than the best team in the world against Greyhound? On a different map, but there's a molly to Goose. Gonna force out ins. That surely is going to spread a little bit further. There's a smoke being deployed. HE out, and there's Frozen as well, calling it perfectly. Sicko, though, returns fire. Now Rops, it's his moment to push out, catches Dick Stacey in the back. So much pressure on Sicko. And he's not going to be able to pass. Frozen deals the fatal damage with a headshot with the AWP. Plenty of time for the bomb. They don't have to rush into anything. And Malta and Dexter only have a flash apiece to get back on the site with. Rops has this locked down with his shield, does he? Dexter swiveling round the corner, trying the jumping shot. And it is going to be 13-2. Maybe the patterns weren't there after all.
Doesn't seem like it's written in the stars, is it? Mousesports well out on top, but we will take a quick break before being in the second half, so stay tuned.
Let's see if Grayhound can make lightning strike twice, or if Mousesports are just immune to their charms. They are on the T side now. This is Mousesports' choice of map. They are renowned for being a very good team on Dust2, to be fair, but the manner in which this game has been going doesn't give me too much hope, Dust. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's going to take a huge effort from Grayhound at this point. They had to do one better than the comeback against Liquid to figure this one out. I do see them looking to go towards long A with the bulk of their forces. They haven't been able to get control of the blue bin at the very least, so they're not committed to anything just yet as that bomb still swings back towards the back of the catwalk. Got ends coming through the lower tunnels as well, so definitely looking to try to engage at middle, and Kerrigan has spotted this, though. We'll get the intel. Voxic's kind of the main man to defend against this. There is a player at car as well, though. Going to be Frozen.
Here comes the play. It's going to be fast and frenetic, and Voxic, the vanguard of A, is putting bullets down range and landing headshots all over the place. The bomb's gone down. Oh, there's the third. Voxic turning it on. And to be fair, he's got 20 kills already. Frozen's not far behind him on 15, and that was the last lifeline for Greyhound.
Yeah, you're basically like, do we save and play for OT, or do we just force buy? And force buying seems to be really the most appropriate response. Scout and a pistol is a plenty here for Grayhound. It's not a lot, but it'll have to do. Otherwise, they'll be down 1-0 in the series.
Well, it's a bit of a massacre, isn't it, Dust? There's not much to say here.
Yep.
Me trying to charge back outside the tunnels, keeping your dreams alive. Maybe if Mousesports overcommit, there's a way back in for Grayhound, but you better believe under Carrigan's leadership, they are not going to let that happen.
It's not looking good, Chief.
Yeah, I'm even trying to use what's remaining of my optimism, but I'm coming up with nothing here. I'm just pulling duds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you have a smoke? Could maybe cross the mid. Nope, Frozen. Okay, rip.
I know. I like how you're trying to find a way back into this round.
I really am.
Not there. I mean, it's just really not.
I really am.
They're just wandering around like lost children. And Chris J will go ahead and finish it off there. 15-2 is where we stand. We have a good old 13 map points for Mousesports. It's a lot of map points.
It's a few. Yeah, it's definitely.
It does seem like you wouldn't be able to really ruin that.
Well, ins with the flash outside of long. It looks like they're going to try and force their way back into this map, at least back into this round. Smokes have been deployed in mid additionally. One on either side. That needs a little bit of a derpy one. Bounces off the top. I suppose the good news here, Dust, is they have got some long control, and at this kind of range, the Deagles can certainly start to make a mess of this round on Mousesports' perspective.
Sure, we can go with that. We can see if that actually comes to fruition or not, as they are making some pretty good headway up long indeed. But there's two on Cat, one at cross already, one on the site. They all have SMGs up close. Pop Flash comes through. Rock's good for one as well. Dexter at least able to trade it back.
Carrigan situated on the site with the MP9, sprays in, riddles his head with bullets. Molotov frag onto Dexter. Here comes Frozen, leaving Sicko 1-on-4 with the scout. He's tanked one player and a second. They're getting in that range, but Frozen with a CZ is going to put this map to rest nice and quick for Mousesports. They're going to be 1-0 up. Just one more map required to get to the playoffs.
Indeed, they are dangerously close to that position, while it seems like Grayhound might be on their way back to the airport here soon. We'll have to see. I am Dust. With me has been Vince. All tournament long, we have at least one more map to cast together, Vince. That might be our last one of the tournament. We were just here for the group stages. We're doing it remotely from home. We've appreciated every single one of you who have come and tuned in, even those of you who haven't been so nice. We still appreciate you coming by and at least giving it a chance, and hopefully there's still been something fun for you. If you've enjoyed yourself, definitely stay tuned for the next map. Also give Vince and I a follow if you'd like to. It is at @followdust on Twitter, @onfirevince. I think there's a caster's command in chat you can use as well. And use that hashtag DHMasters. Let DreamHack know what you're thinking about the tournament. Get involved in the conversation, all that cool stuff. But yeah, we're going to take a about 10-minute break or so. When we come back, we'll be bringing you map 2, so stay tuned.